Welcome to another episode of Halftime Adjustments.
Yes, sir.
Eddie down there, my man G Witt.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up, baby. Training camp 2019.
Man.
Football season is here.
You can smell the grass. You
man.
can smell the grass.
The two-tone blue hit the pads today for the first time.
For the first time, and the pads were popping, man. I'm just sorry we weren't there to see that and check that out. But it's football season, so let's get it right now, baby. Let's go.
Football season, a lot to prove for this team. A lot of off-season moves that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
In the previous shows, and some good draft picks. It's time to put everything together.
Well, as you can see, the whole mentality of the team is totally different. You know, even Vrabel's doing things differently, with most of the practices being scheduled in the morning time. You know, even though that happened this weekend, he still had a ton of people out there watching. Just interested in seeing what he's going to bring, what they're going to bring to the table. You actually got to see our offensive coordinator Arthur Smith in action. Very, very vocal, very energetic, trying to get things done, getting guys to repeat drills just to make sure they get them right. The one-on-one drills, man, are just, they're off the chain, man.
Yeah, saw a lot of good things yesterday. We were able to attend the session yesterday. Saw a lot of good work put in.
Absolutely.
A lot of good skill position work.
Yeah.
The battles went back and forth. The offense got the better of the defense. Sometimes defense got the better of the offense.
Yeah.
So very competitive camps.
And that's what you want. And the thing about it, what people need to realize, even with the offense, the receiving core being as good as they are, is actually helping the defense, because the defensive backs have really got to work on their coverage skills, because these guys, you're talking about Humphries, Davis, and Sharp. Excellent route runners, and man, they are giving some of those DBs fits. So it's going to help make the defense a lot better.
It was good to see Adoree out there, and practicing full speed. Actually playing pretty good coverage on Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a size mismatch, but it's good for him, right?
It's good for him.
Because Corey Davis looked like he put on about 10 pounds of muscle.
Oh man, him, Taywan Taylor looks like he put on some weight. You know, it's going to be interesting, man. This was probably one of the camps you're going to see where the decisions, we talk about them being tough in the past. It's really going to be tough this year, because there's talent all across the board. There's not a glaring, what you call, weakness on the team. You know, not a glaring weakness. You know, you have some places where it may be a little subpar, but there's not a glaring weakness where you say, we got to get this in order to get better.
And to know that we do have some holes, as you mentioned, not a glaring weakness, but we know Taylor Lewan's going to be out for the first 4 games. And Dennis Kelly left. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But the offensive line still got some question marks because of Lewan going to be out the first 4 games. He will start that left tackle position.
Right.
The right guard position is up for grabs still.
Yeah.
And so still some question marks on the line, but we still think it's going to be a solid position.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The line is going to be solid. And let's get into it, because we'll get excited, man. We'll be here for a minute. So it's football season.
It's football season.
It's football season.
And thank you for joining us for another episode. Been out for the last couple of weeks waiting for training camp to start so we can bring it back to you live. And like I said, it was very exciting to be out there yesterday. A lot of fans came out, was very impressed with the amount of turnout for practice yesterday.
Yeah.
And sure it was the same way today, even though the heat was there.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't give us no tents this year.
No.
Right? They didn't put
No
the
shade
tents
for the fans this year. So fans, you go out there, you can wear your hats.
I guess they're getting us ready for the season.
There you go.
As well as to support this team. So let's look at what happened yesterday, Grover. As we were there, we saw it live. And your first impressions of yesterday?
Well, in all honesty, I will say this. I thought overall the team looked great. I would say in all honesty, the biggest concern, and you and I talked about it yesterday, really is the quarterback position. I think as long as Derrick Henry is healthy, running back position is going to be great. He's banged up right now, so we didn't get to see him in action yesterday, but they're saying it's not a serious injury, just a lower leg injury. So hopefully, he comes back stronger. They don't think he's going to miss any time or anything like that. But he's going to be key, really, for the quarterback position, because without him, the play action really doesn't work. Because let's be real about it. Deion Lewis is a good running back, but he doesn't strike fear in defenses the way Derrick Henry does.
That's right, because, like you said, when Derrick Henry's in the game, they're playing 8-9 in the box.
Oh,
I mean, definitely, right?
Yeah.
And so Deion Lewis in the game, it's not so much of a threat to run it is to pass, because they don't, he's not an intimidating runner.
Well,
right?
and that's the thing about it. He's not an intimidating runner, and they know that, somebody can tackle him one-on-one.
Right.
Whereas, even though, don't get me wrong, Deion Lewis is a good back. He proved last year that he's not an easy out, But at the same time, he doesn't strike fear into him. Whereas Derrick Henry, he's a big guy, hard runner. It's going to take a couple of guys to bring him down. And you know that if you miss tackles, he's subject to take it all the way home.
And he's subject to give you a stiff on him.
Oh, yeah. So, or throw a linebacker or two.
Right. So, just some early observations yesterday. You can definitely tell Marcus has put on 10 pounds.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's definitely, especially lower body.
Yeah.
We talked about let's talk about a little bit more about him since we brought him up. So, one thing we did notice yesterday is that he was not stepping into his throws.
Right.
On a lot of his throws, which was making the ball sail.
Yeah, it was making the ball sail, and also it took a lot of velocity off the ball too. It wasn't getting. And I think he was struggling with ball placement. But the thing about it was what he wasn't doing was anticipating the throws. Right. And we go back to the pass he made to Delaney Walker where he got nicked up a little bit. If he throws that ball earlier, that injury doesn't happen.
Right.
So I'm sure from what they were saying, the reports today about him throwing the ball well today, then that means that maybe they got him in the film study and talked about, look, you got to let that ball go.
Right.
I mean, because the bottom line is there was a couple of times he had guys open, and because he couldn't really see them open, he didn't make the throw. And the thing about him, he's got to be able to anticipate and throw the ball to the spot where the receiver is going. If he does that, a lot of the catches, the difficult catches that we saw yesterday, the guys made, they become easier catches.
Right. A lot of the red zone work we witnessed yesterday, he was not throwing to the spot.
Right.
He was throwing it late, was kind of behind the receiver in some cases, which could be a pick, to get some live action going.
Well, that and not only that, by him waiting for that, you get the DB time to recover. So, he had a couple of wide open throws at Adam Humphrey because he ran some wicked routes, man.
He did.
This joke
we'll talk more about him in just a minute.
This joke is off the chain. And, yesterday the catch of the day belonged to Tajay Sharp.
That's right.
You have to give him his prop, man. He reached for the ball, grabbed it, and got 2 feet in bounds. I saw the replay on the internet, man, and I was like, Vrabel went down and gave him a high five on that catch, man. Because, it was spectacular. But, again, Marcus is going to have to anticipate the throws. He's going to get a lot better. And he had some good throws and he had some bad throws. He threw a pick in the end zone on one of the red zone drills because he floated the ball. If he steps into his throws, again, those balls are less likely to be intercepted, and receivers have a better opportunity to make a catch. He threw one to Corey Davis in the red zone drill. That was an out pattern. He threw it early. Corey Davis had to run to catch up to the ball, caught it, touchdown, boom. And that's what he's got to do.
Do you think it's going to be a winning season this year? Absolutely.
No doubt.
At least I'm not going to predict the record, but it's going to be a winning season.
It's going to be a winning season because, like I said, the defense, as quiet as it kept, and I like what Dean Pease is doing because he's not necessarily working with quote-unquote number ones.
That's right.
All the time.
So Wesley Williams running with twos, right?
Wesley Williams running with the twos. Of course, our boy, I can't remember names now. I'm getting so excited. Cameron Wake is actually going with the twos more likely than anything. And of course, Jarrell Case is not on the field. So you see a lot of the backups getting there, and they're making good headway as far as those practices. When you go with the number one, you're starting the linebacker crew to get these people. You got Rashad Evans, Jayon Brown, Harold Landry, and Sharif Finch.
Yeah.
That's who they had starting
so
with
far.
the ones.
Yeah, so far.
Your secondary was Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler, and the two starting safeties, Vaccaro and Byard, and both of them look great. So it's going to be, Jackson's going to be in there. The defense, the secondary. It's going to be hard to make this team, man.
It's going to be hard to make the team. Plethora of receivers. Tolliver is another guy we brought in free agency. Good size, good hands. His feet were a little bit slow.
A little heavy.
But, he's a big guy, another big body that can probably block. Yesterday we saw some good blocking drills that were performing for the receivers.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to block to make this team.
But one thing, if we're gonna get into the receivers, man, let's be honest about this.
Well, let's talk about the receivers.
Let's be honest about this, man. The receiving position is, I just have to say this loaded.
I'm telling you, and I'm gonna say it right here, and I hadn't heard anybody say this, but I'm sure it's gonna come out. Adam Humphries, the steal of free agency.
I can't disagree with that.
Very impressive. I mean, great feet, great routes. It wasn't a ball he did not catch yesterday.
And great hands. I mean, he caught everything that came to him. And the thing you like about him, again, is that his balance is so good when he runs his routes and everything. And of course, Corey Davis, he had a couple of drops and everything. But the one thing I did like about it that I noticed is it's a little subtle thing that you don't really see that often, especially in today's time. But like Humphries, Sharp, and Corey Davis, all of them out there practicing, catching balls, no gloves.
No gloves, that's right.
No gloves. The only one that had gloves on was Taywan Taylor. But everybody else was catching it just pure hands and everything. You saw some great footwork. I mean, these guys have great route running ability. They know how to get open. You can see they're understanding the physicality of the game as far as getting open. That's why when you look at this, look at the list. I mean, okay, here's what we got. 5 receivers who I believe are going to make the team.
5.
5. Davis,
that's right.
Sharp, Humphries, Brown is going to be there, and Taywan Taylor. That's 5. So really, when you think about it, last year they only carried 5 receivers, and this year they might carry 6. But you figure Darius Jennings is probably going to be there because he does kick return, punt return. So it's going to be hard for a receiver to make this team. Some like our boy Ratliff Williams, he's probably going to be on the practice squad.
He is, and he's been very impressive. He had a couple of drops yesterday, but I was impressed. Because he has some good hands.
Yeah.
He was able to get open.
Yeah.
His feet, again, he needs to work on his feet, which we know.
But
we
that's
saw
a
that.
rookie, though.
He's a rookie. And
that's the same thing that happened to Brown when he tripped over himself.
That's right.
He got ahead of his feet got ahead of him.
That's right.
And so that's what caused him to slip when he was trying to make the cut. So the bottom line is those are the things rookies have to work on as far as receiving it. The hardest thing to work on are your feet and the physicality of the game.
But we've got all facets in receivers. So we got a deep threat.
Oh, yeah.
Taywan Taylor. We got a big physical receiver, Corey Davis.
Yeah.
We got a possession guy in Adam Humphries.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown is yet to see, but he can be both. Possession, deep, and
you got another possession receiver in Tajae Sharp.
So we've got it all. And it's not many teams, like I say, they got all that type of talent in those very facets, right?
It's interesting. It's exciting as far as, I mean, this without a doubt. I would say top to bottom is the best receiving core the Titans have ever had.
Right.
And I mean that in all honesty.
And I don't think it's going to be an ego problem. Those guys are very, very humble. Hardworking. And hadn't seen the trace yet. Now we hadn't seen it yet, but I just don't see it coming out of this group.
Well, and that's the thing about it. I don't see the diva attitude in any of them.
Right.
When they talk to the press and everything, it's all about the team first.
Yep.
Now I will say my boy Tajae Sharp, he's got a mean streak on him, man.
He's got
a mean streak on him.
Been playing some physical football.
He plays some physical football. So it's interesting to watch him and everything. But these guys, they work on their game, they work on their craft, and as we've seen, they are skilled receivers with great hands.
Yep.
So. The receiving position should not, I would say, be a weakness this year at all.
You got to give props to Rob Moore too, right?
Coaching
that position up. He's doing a great job with those guys.
And you give credit to J-Rob because he brought in some good talent. And I mean, good competition too, because the younger guys, they know they're fighting to try to make the team. And some of them got to make it on special teams, and some of them going to be on the practice squad just the way it is.
Yeah. And so, the receiver, Malcolm Butler has had a rough time. Now, we know Malcolm Butler's not a true man cover guy. He's more of a zone guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we saw when Dean Peace made that adjustment last year. He had a better half of the season, right? So, I don't anticipate him doing a lot of man coverage unless it's short red zone type coverage.
Yeah.
But most of the time, we should see him.
Well, let's be honest about, since we're talking about receiving. No, there are no egos on the receiving core, just to answer your question.
That's right.
I think that's really good as far as the receivers are concerned. There's no egos, no guys. They just want to play ball. They want to win. But flipping the script to the other side, the secondary, one thing we did see out of Malcolm Butler, he got beat on a couple of routes and everything, but his technique was a lot better.
Technique is a lot better than what it actually looks like he picked up from the end of the year last year, right?
Exactly.
He hadn't left off from that.
Yeah, and Logan Ryan
looks healthy. He's fast. He's moving quick.
Let's not forget this, man.
Go ahead and tell.
I got to bring this out, man.
Go right ahead.
We saw something that in practice yesterday that we didn't see in the entire season last year. Odora Jackson came on a blitz, man.
Odora Jackson was blitzing off the corner.
Off the corner, and I mean, you forget how fast he was there.
And if it was past, Mariota probably would have had a helmet in his back.
Yeah, he was caught because there was no way. I mean, even the running back, I think it was Deion Lewis was in there. He almost missed the block. So, I mean, you just see that his receiver went in motion. He came up and he just went and he was there.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting to see the secondary. Like I said, Byard and Vaccaro, you notice about Vaccaro, again, he's not much of a cover guy, but he is a tone setter for the defense.
He's a tone setter for the defense.
And, he's going to bring the hat and everything. And you got, one thing you know about it, you got Kevin Byard back there, who's a smart player.
He's a smart guy.
And knows how to get in position and knows where to be. So it ought to be interesting, man.
But Vaccaro has better cover skills than Cyprien had.
Yeah, that's true. That much is true.
He can cover the tight end. He can cover the back out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So there's not much drop off.
He can cover them in tight spaces.
Yeah.
The fact that if it gets long or get into outside and everything, that's when he's going to run into issues.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie Arnell, G. Witt.
Tighten up, baby.
Training camp 2019. So, so how is 82? How Delaney looked good yesterday.
Actually, Delaney looked extremely well.
He looked really good. He was running well. He did have I'm going to say, a little scare. He caught a ball and kind of took an awkward fall.
Yeah.
And he didn't practice today, so I'm sure that was out of precautionary measures.
Well, and it was a scheduled day off.
He had a slight limp, but he was able to come back later in practice on the team drills, red zone, team offense against defense.
They held him out a little bit and everything. And you saw one pass after he came back into the drills in the red zone that Marcus threw. And like I told you yesterday, I think it was purposely done just to make him turn and get comfortable with that ankle, because I thought that was one thing about it. He came up limping on the ankle. So you see those type of things when a guy's coming back from injury, he gets in an awkward fall, comes up limping a little bit, but gets back out there and starts playing. That lets you know mentally he's back into it. He's not worried about the ankle now.
Right, and I agree with you, Tajaé Sharpe. We talked about Tajaé Sharpe a lot yesterday. He is a great route runner. People seem to slip on that. He's got great hands, and he's a physical guy more than what you think.
More than what you think.
And it's going to be a battle between him and Brown.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Position. Well, Brown ain't doing himself no favors
by being hurt.
Being hurt right now.
But he did come out yesterday at practice and worked, and he came out again today. And so
it's going to be interesting, man. Let's put it like this. Brown is going to see the field. If he's healthy, he's going to see the field.
Definitely.
The question is, right, I agree. Tajaé is probably going to be your third receiver. Taywan Taylor's going to see a lot of action. Again, a lot of them is going to be predicated on them catching the ball.
Yeah.
The drops can't happen this year. And that's what they're looking at right now, because you got great routes. Even Taywan Taylor runs a good route. So the drops have got to go away.
One thing we did notice yesterday, and again, they were just in shells and shorts, that the defense wasn't allowing no run holes.
Oh, no.
The running lanes were tight. They were closing up quick.
It was tight.
One person we were impressed with, we talked about yesterday, was David Long Jr., rookie out of West Virginia, inside linebacker. The guy can get to the football very fast, has a nose for the ball.
Yeah.
And see a lot of special teams in his future, but I'm telling you, he's going to be great.
Yeah,
he's going to be a great pickup for us.
He's going to be good. And the thing about him is that, the thing you have to worry about him, and the scouting report on him was true, he can sometimes be over-aggressive, and because he's so fast to get to the ball, that sometimes he might overrun the play. But you'd rather for him to start off being aggressive and having to tone it back, rather than being hesitant and you having to push him to get more aggressive. So at least he's aggressive, and you can get him. You can coach him back down to where he makes the right play and right call and everything.
Right. So Ed, we were talking about Mariota earlier. He did have an issue yesterday, not anticipating the throw, not throwing it to the spot on time. He had a better day today. Throwing the ball in the spot on time before the receiver comes. Now, he did throw some nice ones yesterday, too. Don't get us wrong. He threw one to, I can't remember who, I think it was Corey Davis. When they went to the right side of the field, across the field from us, and anticipated the ball already being there. So by the time he broke, he dove and had to catch the ball. But he was the only one that could get the ball.
Right.
And so that's what we need to see more out of him, is more anticipating the throw, throwing to the spot where the receiver's going to be, and not waiting until the last minute, which gets him in trouble.
Yeah, that's what gets him in trouble, because he, again, like we said earlier, he waits to see the receiver open. And by doing that, he's giving the defense time to react. Because the thing about it is, once the receiver breaks, he's already open.
Right.
If you got the ball already on the way, the only person going to catch the ball is the receiver.
That's right.
The DB is already beat.
So, 707, the coverage was tight. I mean, Some great battles yesterday.
Man.
Great battles. I'm going to tell you, Adam Humphries, man. I can't say enough about that guy. I can't even remember who was covering.
I don't know, but he did it was, oh, God, who was it? It was, I can't even remember.
Durden, was it?
It wasn't Durden, no. Durden, well, you ain't going to talk about that.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk about
that. But, man, the
guy can get open, man.
Man, he threw a hesitant move on the guy and broke, and the guy was just totally lost.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was, but man, he was just beat. No doubt about it. It might have been Ty Smith. I'm not sure.
I think it was Ty Smith.
Yeah.
But don't get up. Ty Smith has been impressed. We talked about him yesterday. He got hurt last year. He was coming on strong before he got hurt, and he picked up again yesterday.
Yeah.
And was being physical, and again physical today at practice.
Yeah.
From what we've heard, and so a lot of depth at the defensive backfield. Again, it's going to be tough to make this team.
Oh yeah,
as a receiver, as a DB, you got to really put your work in on special teams to make this 53-man roster.
It's like Dane Cruikshank is going to have to put his work in. And,
as a safety,
because Amani Hooker is coming, baby.
He's coming. He's intelligent. In the right place at the right time in the defense, and so again, it's gonna be tough. It's good to have a problem with talent.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Yeah. This is something that's rare.
Yeah,
and we hadn't seen really in the Titans organization at least in a long time.
Yeah.
But no, Taylor, they didn't really throw any swing passes to the running backs. Some screens, but nothing really major to him. Again, Derrick Henry wasn't out there. He wasn't out there again today.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that comes back and everything. But again, offensively, the offensive line I thought looked pretty decent. Again, you saw we actually got a good look at and understood why Taylor Lewan we're going to miss Taylor Lewan.
Oh, definitely.
I'm going to be honest with you, we're going to miss Taylor Lewan because Taylor Lewan has quick feet, which is something Dennis Kelly does not have. Dennis Kelly has very heavy feet, which is one of the reasons why he's just slow off the ball. He's a
backup for a reason.
Yeah, he's a backup for a reason. He's got heavy feet. Now, is he going to? I think the offense, what they'll do is help him out as far, especially in passing situations. We might see Delaney in there quite a bit to help out with chipping and everything. But the bottom line is, we got to survive those 4 games without Taylor Lewan because we're going to miss that left tackle.
And he's got to come back in shape, right? He's got to be ready to go when he comes back. Because like we said, those first 4 games are brutal. We don't know what happened to Derrick Henry. He does have some type of foot injury. He has a boot on.
But it's lower leg.
But it's lower leg.
Yeah.
And so,
and from everything I've seen, they say that the boot is for precautionary measures.
Yeah.
And I think basically what it is, they put him in the boot to try to keep from stressing the injury too much and allow it to recuperate and everything. So I don't know exactly what it is. They just never said. It just said lower leg. So it could be anywhere from a calf strain to something with his Achilles or something like that. You just never know.
Yeah, Taylor can appeal the suspension, but it's not going to matter because when that second sample comes back, it's going to prove that he had an illegal substance.
It's going to be hard. The second sample, the only way he can win the appeal is the second sample comes back negative.
Negative, that's right.
That's the only way he can win the appeal. But other than that, he won't win the appeal because the bottom line is he's responsible for what goes in his body. And, I'm not going to, like I tell everybody, I'm not accusing Taylor Lewan of cheating the game. I don't think he was intentionally trying to do that. Mm-hmm. I do think, bottom line, let's be real about it, is I hate to use it, but I got to say it's been stupidity on his part. Because you got to know.
Epsom salt.
You got to know. Yeah. It's the same thing that happened with Golden Tate.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. You got to know what you're putting in your body. There's no excuse for that. As a player, you know the history of the league on that issue. Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is you got to get those things tested. If you're taking supplements outside of the organization, you got to get everything tested. You cannot go in there blind.
And so, with Derrick Henry and now Deion Lewis getting a lot of touches.
Yeah.
Somebody else that was kind of impressive yesterday was Dalen Dawkins.
Yeah.
He was running the ball good yesterday. Alex Barnes.
Well, Dalen, let's remember this. Somebody, Jeremy McNichols is running the ball well as well. But he made a mistake yesterday running the ball. He had a good run and everything, and he got taught a lesson real quick.
That's right.
He thought the play was over. He's running. He still got the ball tucked away.
Bates.
And Bates just came up behind him and knocked the ball out. Next thing you know, it's a free fall for the ball. So he learned one thing real quick, and that's something that they are working on, is making sure you secure the ball. Even with the receivers going through their drills where they're punching the ball and everything, Vrabel was giving them a hard time like, you're a running back.
That was an excellent drill yesterday.
That was an excellent drill, man.
Had them boxing gloves, punching the ball at the receivers while they were running through the speed.
And then Vrabel just sneaking up behind players and punching at the ball. So, they got to hang on to it. So it was great.
Yeah, and I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, but Marcus does have freedom as play calling because we noticed yesterday they were in the red zone. He audible to a play and threw a touchdown pass, checked out of a run when they showed blitz.
Yeah.
So great call by Marcus.
And that's what he's going to do.
That's what he's going to do.
He's got to take full control of the offense. Forget this about I got to follow the instructions. No, you got to play the game now.
Yeah.
You got to play the game, and he's got to be aggressive when he plays the game. Again, like Vrabel said, you want him to be aggressive, just not reckless.
Yeah.
So we want him to be aggressive with the ball, anticipate the throws and everything, but also you take care of the ball. Put the ball in a position where nobody can get it but the receiver.
So I want to address this question. It says, with Lewan being out 4 weeks, which team during the period will give the Titans fits to have a elite pass rush? So you got Cleveland, right? You got Garrett, elite pass rusher. You might as well go ahead. You got the Colts. You got elite pass rushers there.
Yeah, you got Jacksonville.
Which
you got elite pass rushers there. And you got Atlanta.
And you got Atlanta, which got elite
pass rushers on that team.
I can't even think of the guy's name right now. But
Vic Beasley.
Vic Beasley, that's right. Vic Beasley. Yeah. And so, it's elite the first 4 games. Yeah. And if we don't come out to play.
Yeah. Hey, bottom line is, what we said in the offseason is really true. Running the ball is going to be key for us.
It's going to be key.
If we can run the ball effectively, that's going to at least tone down the pass rush threat because they're going to have to honor the run.
Yep.
And again, a lot of it's going to depend on Arthur Smith's play calling. I mean, he's going to be again aggressive in his play calling, but he also have to be varied in his play calling. Mm-hmm. You can't be typical saying we're going to do this on first, we do this on second, and we do this on third because teams will figure that out and they will shut you down. So you got to be varied in your play calling. You got to be, innovative. You got to think of things that the offenses, the defense isn't going to be expecting. Play action on first down.
Tag McKinley, that's another good job, Chris.
Yeah.
That was another good one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
And there was a lot of popping out there today as we hear, Rashad Evans bringing the hat. Logan Ryan was mentioned.
Yeah.
So a lot of good things going on. Brent Urban. Let's talk about Brent Urban is a massive dude.
That's a big dude.
6'7", 300 pounds. They said he was making. Another add to that D line is going to bring a lot of depth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Nose piece system. Is going to be a great addition to the team.
And knows what to do. The thing about it is, the key is with DP's system is, as we all know, is the linebacker position. Mm-hmm. And I will say this: for one thing, we can see we got speed at the linebacker position, which is something we hadn't had in a long time. And it's going to be interesting to see how all this works because one thing we did notice and one thing they will work on is making sure that they're better against the run this year than what they were last year.
That's right. That's right.
So we got a lot of things to work on.
Alex Barnes is getting some great care. He has some great runs, and he's getting a lot of attention right now.
Yeah.
And he could be in line. Flew Allen is going to be like the H-back fullback.
That guy.
Flew Allen is like 20 pounds. He's jacked.
Ooh, he is.
And the Heat got him yesterday.
Yeah, the Heat got him yesterday. Yeah, because he got a little overheated yesterday, so he'd take a break and everything. But he's definitely going to be used as a fullback a lot.
Yeah, and that goes along with Taylor's question, formation-wise, use trip. We saw some trips, we saw some slots, we saw some bunch. We also saw some pistol sets, pistol eye in the backfield. So a lot of different sets that Arthur Smith is using. We saw some RPO, which Marcus pulled and he ran, and they gave sometimes. So a lot of variations, a lot of stuff that Marcus is comfortable with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing about this, your question, Butchie, is about what do we see improvement. Like I said, he's put on the weight and everything. And again, it seems like he's taking more control of the offense, that's the one good thing, more control. And really, the thing with Marcus is being consistent with his passes. If he can get to the point where he's consistent with stepping up into his throws, anticipatory throws where he's throwing before the break, and for lack of a better term, is what they say about Tom Brady, throwing the receivers open.
And
because there was a lot of, again, like I said yesterday, there was a lot of times where guys were open. And he just, by waiting, he made the catches more difficult than what they had to be. But again, we saw some throws, like you said yesterday, where actually he made good anticipatory throws, and the only person who could get it was the receivers, and the receivers were going to get the ball. If the ball's in their region, they're going to get it.
They are going to get it, and I'm excited to see because the first preseason game to get here fast enough.
Yeah,
even though they won't be out on the field that long, I just want to see these guys together as an offense running this offense.
Right.
After we've had this time to practice together, and to see what they're gonna look like.
Yeah.
Right? I want to see what the team's gonna look like in that first one, and then of course we kind of pretty much understand what the defense is gonna be like. We saw a little bit of it yesterday. Fast, a lot of speed on defense. We noticed flying to the ball.
Great pursuit.
Great pursuit, and that's what we expect in year 2 if everybody's comfortable with the system.
Yeah, right? Everybody pretty much knows the line. So what you saw yesterday was a lot of communication, not a lot of hesitation, and that's what you're looking for on the defense. You cannot hesitate on defense. You have to be attacking, and that's one thing we did see, especially out of the secondary. Yeah, they got beat, but they were right there.
That's right.
A lot of them were right there. They weren't easy catches.
They were not easy catches.
There were not any easy catches. So. Like I said, the receivers and the DBs, they're going to make each other better.
Good point, Dion. I think Arthur Smith is combining a lot. We saw a lot of various formations yesterday. Things that Marcus is comfortable with. He's had over the last 4 years. And so it's going to be interesting to see, man, how he mixes these plays.
It will be, but the thing I think we really need to get, what we really need to see from Arthur Smith, and we won't see it until really preseason and the regular season start, is how they're going to game plan for each team they play.
That's right.
As opposed to just trying to run a system. Because if you game plan for each team that you play, then you're somewhat ahead of the game because you're not giving them an opportunity to do a lot of film study on you to know exactly what you're going to do.
Right.
They may see the formations and everything, but if you come in with different play calls out of those formations, you're surprising them, and you're ahead of the defense right there.
And we did see John Lou Smith working yesterday, as well as Jarrell Casey coming out. So that's good to see those
Jefferson
guys.
Simmons. And by the way, people,
Jefferson Simmons.
The size is real with that guy. The size is real. That guy he's a monster, man.
He's a monster.
I mean, you saw him coming back in with Jarrell Casey. You look at him next to Jarrell Casey, it's like
he make him look small.
He make him look small, and Jarrell Casey's over 300 pounds, man.
So you get Urban in there. You get Simmons in there, and you get Case and Daquan Jones.
And Daquan Jones and Austin Johnson look great, man.
Matt Dickerson
is looking good.
Again, the depth is a good problem to have.
Yeah, J-Rob, they have done a great job with the scouting system. Again, this is probably one of the most talented teams we've had. And I would say like this is probably the most talented team that we've had since the 99 season, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002.
Since that era.
Since that era. Because, I mean, you're talking about, it's talking about difficult players. And again, it's hard to see who's going to make this team.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to see. Because, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of this. I mean, it's just loaded. If there's a running back position is probably the most, I'd say, fluid position on the team right now.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. It's the most fluid. But other than that, they're going to have to get to work on it, and I'm sure they will. But if Derrick Henry comes back, if he's healthy, it's on.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see. Like we talked about yesterday, Vrabel doesn't really want him to take him off the field. They want him to be a 3-down back, every down back.
Yeah,
he's got to work on his pass block.
Yeah.
When it's Simmons ready, we just don't see him until late in the year.
No. Late in the year, if at all.
if at all, right.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of running, a little bit of moving. He's working with Jarrell Casey, so they're rehabbing somewhat together. And so that's going to be the key for them. I mean, you just don't know when he's going to be ready. They really, in all honesty, they're not anticipating him being here before the break in November and everything. So that's going to be interesting on itself. J-Rob, who's scouting for the team, J-Rob turned over the whole scouting squad for the team. So, in all honesty, I don't know any of their names, but I just know one thing. They are doing a great job of finding talent. They're finding talent in places that people are not expecting. I mean, hence, Kevin Byard just got his big contract, 3rd-round pick out of MTSU. 2-star athlete coming out of high school is what he was ranked. Only had one scholarship offer from a major school, a major D1 school, which is Kentucky. They flipped it around on him, so he ended up going to MTSU.
Yep.
Balled out, didn't get invited to the combine. Get drafted by the Titans in the 3rd round.
Good scout.
And put it like this: the stats is this. The past 2 years, the leading guy with interceptions in the league, Kevin Byard.
Yep.
top 4 in safety in the league over his 3 years.
Well-deserved payday.
Well-deserved payday, I mean, and you like his attitude when he say ain't nothing changed but the change.
The change in his pocket.
That's it.
We gladly accept change that rather.
Yeah.
We'd rather get the stuff that folds. Anyway, how do the Titans translate talent into production? I think putting them in the right position to be productive, right? You got to have a good scheme. You got to have a good a game plan to get these guys in the right position. Like, for instance, we talk about Malcolm Butler, knowing that he is not a true man cover guy.
Right.
That he thrives in zone coverage. Well, you got to put him in zone coverage.
Yeah. Right? And I think that's the thing you're going to find out about him too. They're going to move people around. I mean, like yesterday, going with the ones, it was like I said, it was Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler.
Yeah.
Granted, they're the 2 most experienced corners we got, but you think about it from this standpoint, they're the 2 oldest corners we got.
That's true.
So you look at them, and I mean, you think about them being older and everything, but the bottom line is, what you see happening is that Dean Pease is actually working the system to make everything better. Because 9 times out of 10, Logan Ryan is going to be playing nickel, but he's going to have a hard time because the money Hooker is coming right behind him, and he can play the nickel.
He can play the nickel, and he can bring the hat too.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Sacks, I can't.
Good question, Butchie.
I can't say. Yesterday they weren't really, coming with the blitz. One thing is going to happen. Dean Pease is going to be manufacturing pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Simmons is not there, and we still got to get that pressure up the middle, so he's going to be doing that. But I think with the speed that we have, we're going to see blitzes coming from all over, and it's going to be interesting to watch. Again, Rashad Evans, man, looks great. I mean, he's at full strength, and he was laying the wood today. Beating blocks. Jack Conklin actually didn't look that bad yesterday either for the time he was out there.
He didn't, right. For the time he's out there. He left practice yesterday, undisclosed reason. But, again, a lot of interchangeable parts. So Rashad, can he go on the edge? He probably could.
Oh, yeah. Because he played some edge when he was at Alabama.
He did play some edge at Alabama.
So, it gives a lot. There's a lot of things. I mean, a lot of, like you said, interchangeable parts. People can go in a lot of different directions. So the defense can also keep opposing offenses guessing because you're not going to know where pressure is coming from.
You're right, Deion. It's not only do we have playmakers, but we got cerebral players, which is very important.
Yeah,
you got to know where you're supposed to be at all times.
Well, and again, you got to be able to see and make adjustments on the fly.
You got to,
and like you said, we got good football. These are football players. They play the game. It's not, like I said before, we don't have good guys who can play football, but we have football players who are good guys.
That's right.
So, and that's the difference. And the team first guys, they're the type of guys that J. Rob has been going for. Amy Adams-Strunk was out there yesterday, getting signing autographs and everything.
Great day.
Spent a little time talking to Taylor Lewan, also talking to a couple other offensive linemen and everything. So, it's funny to see her with her petite self next to somebody that's 6'7",
hugging on her. Taylor Lewan.
It was kind of fun, big lineman. But the thing you like about that is that they all respect her.
Yeah.
They all love her, and she respects them. And she just wants to see the best out of them. So
what I like is she's letting the guys run the team.
Yeah.
So that's important, right? Not interfering like one of those other owners out there that wants to be the owner and the GM
and all that kind of stuff.
The Taylor haters, the Cowboys. And so, again, guys, thank you for joining us for the episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie out there, G-Wit.
Tighten up, baby.
Got the scrimmage coming up this weekend, Saturday night.
Saturday night at the stadium.
At the stadium. So if you can make it, get out there and check them out.
Yeah, I think Vrabel's desire is to run a scrimmage. It's going to also depend on the health of the team and how they're doing so far, but it should be pretty good. It's a 2-hour practice from 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And true to the Titans of what they've been doing lately, they made it into an entertainment situation.
Right.
You get
a free concert.
You get a free concert. You want to stay for that. Also a fireworks show after that. So there's a lot of things going on. So man, again, training camp opened up. Football season has begun. We can smell the grass. Man, we're only a couple of weeks away from the first preseason game.
That's right.
It's on, baby.
We'll be back next Sunday night, 7 p.m. We're going to talk about the scrimmage. We're going to talk about it's going to be full pads. So we'll see. And hopefully we get a chance to see a little bit of Derrick Henry, but there's no rush to get him back.
We know what he can do. We just want him fully healthy because in the beginning of the season, he's going to be counted on a lot.
He's going to be counted on a lot. The run game is going to be a key component of those first 4 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially how we come out of the block. in that first quarter of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, thank you for the love, guys, the comments, the questions.
Share it.
Share it if you like the show. Share it. Get us out there, man. And and we'll come back to you next Sunday at 7 p.m. Be looking out for us.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the tight ends because Firkser made some great catches yesterday.
It's
gonna be hard to kick him off the team.
It's gonna be hard, man. He played good last year, and I don't see it changing this year.
Yeah, with Jonnu Smith coming back, the tight end position is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
We got some depth to work with there, which is always, like I said in the show earlier, it's always a good thing to have depth. It's never a bad thing to have a lot of talent.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. But next Sunday, man.
Next Sunday. Hey guys, thank you again for joining us. Adrianel, G-Wit, tighten up. Peace.